Hey everyone, Matt Harris here. Thanks for joining me. If you're new, welcome. We hope to earn your subscription today, but I wanted to do a video on one of the more unconventional days that I've had, but still kind of a day in the life of a modern day blacksmith. Welcome and thanks for joining me.
So the morning commute looked a little different. At 5:30 left for BWI Airport in Baltimore and was flying out. And as we took off, I couldn't help but look over and see what used to be Sparrows Point, where the giant Bethlehem Steel facility was. And I couldn't help but think about my grandfather, who was a foreman there. And they called him a white hat because the foremen were the only guys allowed to wear white hard hats back then. And it struck me that here I am flying across the country to go work on a job. And in my duffel bag, there's a white hard hat, which is part of my safety gear. And I was just thinking about him and just how much the world has changed since he came home from World War II in the 40s, and just all the work that he did for Bethlehem Steel through the 50s and 60s, and all the great things that have been accomplished in our country since then. And just had a kind of a nostalgic moment on the plane there. And here we are landing in Ohio, which is the destination for this little trip that I had to take. Now, this particular trip began a couple weeks earlier when my friend Chris Cash and I drove out to Ohio and installed the first phase of the work that we were doing there. But unfortunately, one of the doors wasn't ready, so I had to come back. And here we are at this business, Forge Biologics, which a while back, if you remember, we did this beautiful forged logo for. And we took their logo and we hammered it out, and here's some shots that actually wound up being used in their foyer. Shots of me at the forge, and Dan Salvo, their branding and marketing manager, did an amazing video, which I'll tag right here, of this forged logo that we created. And just kind of surreal to see a quote by myself hanging in the foyer of this biotech company in Ohio. So this is some past work in the foyer. And then here's the work that my friend Chris Cash and I did a few weeks earlier. So before we look at the work that I flew out to install, let's take a look back at how the handles were made. So they started out as this square stainless steel stock. All of those long bars were then twisted, and after twisting them, we made custom jigs that were welded to a table that we used to bend all of the bars. Now this ensured that they would perfectly mirror one another when mounted to the doors. Okay, so just got done bending this. We bent it to this outside form first, and then put the sweep in it. We bent it over top of these pipes.
back down.
Now there were 2 forms for each pull handle, and we made a custom jig to weld these together and make sure that they perfectly mirrored each other on each side of the door. That same jig was also used to help install them. And speaking of installing, here I am installing the pull handles that go on the doors that were not hung the first time we were on site. The whole reason for my plane trip. Thankfully, it only took a couple hours to complete the install of those handles, and I took one final look around. As I walked through this newly completed space, it was pretty surrealistic to see images from our studio flashed on a 40-foot LED screen in the center of this company. So these are the entrance doors to the boardroom. We forged these stainless steel pull handles. They have elements twisted together, formulating what is kind of like DNA. But this company's branding is all around Forge. You can see out in this hallway this beautiful mural, and in that mural there's this really awesome painting of a blacksmith working. The whole idea of energy, forge, collaboration, the hearth. And here we also did these beautiful blackened steel doors. Custom patina drywall guys got me on the top, but beautiful finish on these doors. And they slide on that track, kind of a modern barn door going into a catering space from within inside of this boardroom. So again, the pull handles there, and a left and right blackened steel barn door. It's a pretty cool project. Really proud of my team on this one. We also did the trim on the inside. The patina is just beautiful on the inside as well. See how the door on the other end? Blackened steel. One of the main spaces here at Forge Biologics. It's a beautiful mural. So crazy blacksmith. And then we did these forged pull handles. So forged hammered stainless going into, I believe this is the hospitality section. These are mirrored on both sides of the door. And this not so ordinary day in the life of a modern day blacksmith ended with yet another plane ride back home to BWI in Baltimore. Hey, as I wrap up this video, I just want to say thank you to everyone for supporting this channel and following along on our creative journey. We really appreciate you following, liking, and subscribing to this channel. Hope to see you on the next go round. Thank you.